engagement and decrease maladaptive behavior. So like Melissa was saying, let's say that she's working with a student and then there's another student, she doesn't have, the parents are on their lunch break or something. You could give them, okay, it's time to do your schedule, and then they're engaged in activities they know how to do without having to have a teacher hover near them, and hopefully they'll do those activities.
And for the most part, if I had to do it and I had no one there, it took a while, but once they learned the system, I could just be in close proximity to them. So I could bring the kid I was working with near them and still monitor them doing their independent work.
Yeah, that's great. We want to that helps foster independence and promote generalization. So really you could put anything into an activity schedule if you wanted to. We just talked about that a little bit. It teaches functional leisure skills like we had mentioned and self-management skills. So really incorporating student choice and having them be like, okay, well, what do you want to do today in your activity schedule? And then they can choose to put their own activities in. So empowering them is really important. So how to use it? There's a variety of different ways that you can use activity schedules. You could display materials on a shelf or bookcase. I think some people had mentioned that they had done that. You could have bins and have the pictures on the front of them for some of the early learners. You could also have structured work stations for some of the older kids where you have maybe 3 bins on a table, and they, after they complete one bin, they move on to the next one depending on what the activity is. The materials would be arranged in a sequence, so first they would have to do one activity and then go on to the next one. You would want to, at the end, when they're done, have reinforcement available for them to earn after they finish their work, hopefully independently, and in the absence of maladaptive behaviors. You would want to use physical prompting to prevent errors or delays. It's really important when we're